It was early, the kind of early where the sky still wears that sleepy gray color. I sipped my coffee in the car for a few seconds longer before heading into the hospital. I had been called in last minute to help on a different floor, one I'd never worked on before, the East Wing. That part of the hospital always felt like a world of its own, sleek floors, newer walls, and often a place for high-profile patients. Private rooms, high-paying clients. The vibe there was different. Still, work was work. I was here to care for people, no matter where they were or how much money they had. I walked in with my badge clipped to my scrubs, my stethoscope hanging around my neck like always. As I made my way to the reception desk, I could already see the woman sitting behind the counter. Middle-aged, neatly dressed, her lips pursed in a tight line. She didn't look up. "Good morning," I said softly, offering a polite smile. Nothing. Maybe she didn't hear me. I stepped a little closer. "Excuse me, I'm Nurse Thomas. I've been called in to help on this floor today." Still silence. Her eyes stayed glued to her computer screen, fingers tapping away like I wasn't even standing there. No glance, no greeting, not even a nod. I started to feel that old familiar sting. That kind of invisible feeling I had experienced too many times in too many places. A slow burn in your chest. A quiet, aching question rising in your mind. Is she ignoring me because I'm black? I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but the feeling was strong. Strong enough to make my heart tighten. "Ma'am," I said again, a bit louder now. "I'm supposed to report to the charge nurse on this floor. I just need to be let in." Finally, she looked up at me. But it wasn't a look of recognition or warmth. It was a cold, brief glance, like she was sizing me up, deciding something, in her mind. Then she went right back to typing. "You can't go back there," she said flatly. "We don't allow visitors without permission." "I'm not a visitor," I replied, keeping my voice steady. "I'm a nurse, here to work. Here's my badge." I even held it out for her to see. She didn't even lean forward. Didn't even pretend to care. "You'll have to wait," she muttered, then picked up her phone and started dialing. I stood there stunned. Not just because she was rude, but because of the way she dismissed me. Like I wasn't even real. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't dressed out of uniform. I had done nothing wrong. But in her eyes, I was nothing worth noticing. Another minute passed. A young white nurse walked up behind me, maybe just a couple of years out of school. Her blonde ponytail bounced as she stepped up to the desk. The receptionist looked up immediately. "Oh, good morning," she said cheerfully. "You're the nurse here to help today." The young nurse smiled back. "Yes, I think I'm working with Nurse Thomas." She looked over at me kindly. Only then did the receptionist glance back at me, her smile gone. She didn't say a word, just pressed the buzzer to let us both in. No apology, no, "have a good day." Nothing. I didn't say anything either. But something in me cracked a little. I've been a nurse for over 10 years. I've saved lives. I've held patients' hands as they took their last breaths. I've comforted families through their darkest hours. I've trained new staff. I've stayed late, come in early, worked through pain and grief and everything in between. But in that moment, all of that meant nothing to her. To her, I was just someone she could ignore. We got inside, and I got to work, put on a smile, did my rounds, checked patients, helped where I could, because that's what nurses do. We keep going, even when it hurts. About 30 minutes later, I was in the supply room when I heard a voice behind me. "Hey, Nurse Thomas." I turned around. It was Mr. Holloway, the hospital director. He's one of the few black leaders in the hospital. Always dressed sharp, always respectful. He smiled warmly at me. "Good to see you down here," he said. "I heard you got called in to help. You always show up when we need you." "Thank you," I said quietly. I wasn't sure if he could. till I was holding something in. Then he tilted his head. Reception didn't give you any trouble, did they? I hesitated. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to seem like I was complaining. But something in his tone, something gentle and knowing, made me answer honestly. She didn't want to acknowledge me. I said carefully. Wouldn't even look at my badge until someone else showed up. Made me feel like I didn't belong. Here, Mr. Holloway didn't say much, he just nodded. But I could see it in his eyes. He understood. He left the room quietly. I don't know what was said after that. I don't know what kind of conversation took place behind closed doors, or who Mr. Holloway spoke to. I wasn't there, and honestly, I didn't need to be. But something shifted. About an hour later, I had stepped out to grab a folder from the nurse's station, and as I walked past the front desk, the same desk where I had stood earlier that morning, feeling small and invisible, I noticed something different. The receptionist was gone. Her chair was empty at first, and then, moments later, a different staff member came and sat down in her place. A younger woman I recognized from another department. She smiled and gave me a friendly little wave as I passed. I didn't say anything. I just kept walking. But inside, I felt something I hadn't felt all morning. Seen. It wasn't about punishment. It wasn't about getting back at someone. But it meant something to see that what happened hadn't gone unnoticed, that someone cared enough to step in, to act. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. No announcement was made. But the silence spoke volumes. The woman who made me feel like I didn't belong was no longer sitting in the seat that gave her the power to do that to anyone else, and I never saw her again. I don't know if she was spoken to, moved to another department, or let go entirely. But whatever the outcome, I was reminded of something important. My dignity matters. My presence matters. And sometimes, even when you don't raise your voice, justice still finds its way to the surface. Quiet, steady, and sure. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. It means the world to me. If you enjoyed it, here's how you can help support the channel and make sure you never miss out on future content. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. Stay updated with my latest uploads so you don't miss a thing. Every subscriber helps this channel grow. Drop a like. If this video helped, entertained, or inspired you, let me know with a thumbs up. It boosts the video's reach and tells YouTube you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What was your favorite part? Any suggestions for future videos? Let's chat in the comments. I read every single one. Share with a friend. Know someone who'd love this? Share it with them. Spreading the word helps more people discover this content. Your support is what keeps this channel going, and I'm so grateful for every like, comment, and share. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. See you in the next video.